Hello.
Hey.
Yes, what can I do for you guys?
We're here to interview Billy Bragg.
From where?
WKWZ.
Okay. And who did you speak to about this?
I'm Jesse from Planetary Radio.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know about that. You'll have to give me a few minutes.
Okay.
He's out doing something else.
All right.
We weren't supposed to be here till 2:30, so
yeah.
maybe.
We got here 10 minutes early.
Okay. Yeah. You guys give me a few minutes. Yeah. I'm just going to have to go check an email. I haven't actually seen anything about that. You guys wait right there.
Yeah, no problem.
I loved you then as I love you still. Though I put you on a pedestal, I put you on the pill. I don't feel bad about letting you go. I just feel sad about letting you know. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for a New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for a New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I love the words you wrote to me, but that was bloody yesterday. I can't survive on what you send every time you need a friend.
Video camera on the stage.
I can't.
No, sir. If you're going to shoot video, you need to please shoot from now.
From outside.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize. Oh, yeah.
Would you like me to turn up?
From a little radio station, I'm just going to do a little chat. No problem.
All right. Thanks a lot.
I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for a New England. Just
Thought he was gonna let me film.
Hey, what's up? This is Ben from WKWZ, and I'm here with the legendary Billy Bragg.
By legendary means old.
So, Billy, after such a prolific career, what do you want to accomplish with your latest album, Tooth and Nail?
Well, you know, it's the first proper album for 5 years, and I was trying to make an album that would go back to the sound of Mermaid Avenue, the albums that I made 15 or so years ago with Wilco, working on Woody Guthrie. They had a really nice sound, which I suppose you would describe as a roots sound, Americana sound, and I really liked the way those records went, so I thought I'd try and do something like that this time. So I recorded in America, which I haven't really done before, with an American producer, Joe Henry, in his house in South Pasadena. And it turned out all right. The album went into the Americana charts. Job done.
So, what are your touring plans for the upcoming year?
Well, there's a US tour. I've still got a couple of weeks to go. That's been 5 weeks now, with a big shiny bus. Then I've got some tour in the UK, summer festivals, you know, places like Glastonbury Festival. Probably a trip back to the United States of America in September, maybe Australia, and then in October, November is Europe and the UK, and then start again next year.
So, what are your opinion of artists like Mumford & Sons and the Lumineers with lots of folk roots really hitting the mainstream? Do you feel that there's a folk revival in modern music today?
I think it's a folk sound. I mean, I'm not sure the Mumfords or the Lumineers qualify as folk, but I think when they're introducing that more rootsy sound into pop music, I think that really works. I mean, because it's sort of like you look at the Mumfords and you think, oh, I could do that. You know, it's so simple. And if that encourages people to pick up an instrument, I think sometimes you see some of the big rock bands and you think to yourself, oh, I could never do that. But with the Mumfords and the Lumineers, it sounds really simple what they're doing. You know, relatively easy, it's like me, but it's only 3 or 4 chords. And I think any music that makes people want to pick up an instrument, even if it's a banjo, it's good music.
So, what new music have you been listening to lately?
I've been listening to the Milk Carton Kids, who just got a new album out. 2 guys from, I don't know where they're from, somewhere in the United States of America. And they're doing a sort of rootsy music thing, you know, 2 acoustic guitars that sound like a cross between Simon and Garfunkel and the Louvin brothers. I'm kind of rocking out. I saw them in Los Angeles. They were doing an album launch on my night off, so I went down there, hung out with them.
So, you're an activist in many causes. One of my personal favorites is the Featured Artist Coalition, which argues whether record labels really represent the true ideals of an artist. Do you think that an up-and-coming artist today should sign with a label or do everything themselves in a digital age?
Well, that's a difficult balance to strike, particularly for a new artist. It's simpler for someone like me to do everything themselves because I've got contacts and I've got an audience. But when you're up and coming, signing that first record contract often means giving up your rotten day job, and that's a big plus. So bands tend to be willing to sign up for anything at that time. But if you can just think to yourself, maybe like Billy Bragg, I'll still be doing gigs 30 years from now. Who's going to own my records? Who's going to, because really, the big record labels don't really care what I do, but I've got an audience out there who want to buy my records. I can still make a reasonable living. I don't make millions doing this, but I make a reasonable living doing this. And that's partly because I'm able to put my own records out when I want to. So I think the record labels will always have an important role to play. You've contacted me today for a third party that I'm employing to help find radio stations. Now that stuff is still important, but if you can hang on to your own rights, own the records, by all means sign them to the record label, but get them back after 10 years or 15 years. They'll end up being your pension rather than the pension of some faceless executive at the record label.
So you're a huge supporter of Record Store Day, which was last Saturday. Do you feel that vinyl is making a comeback?
It seems to be. My son is 19 and he only buys vinyl. He sees a lot of it in junk shops, finds good music from the 70s and the 80s that he likes. And it's certainly travelling around when you can find a record store in the US or the UK. There does seem to be a resurgence of vinyl. The racks seem to be getting bigger every time I go in. And certainly on the new record, on pre-orders, the vinyl version was outselling the CD by about 2 to 1.
All right, thank you so much. Billy's latest record, Tooth and Nail, is out now. Thank you so much for sitting down with us.
My pleasure, man. Good to see you.